Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod here to talk about the challenge Season 40, Episode 5, titled An Era Tradition. Last week on the challenge, after the trivia daily, winners Laurel and Bananas sent players into elimination where Jenny huffed and puffed and blew Anissa out of the game, and Derek eliminated Horacio in a potentially bad call from the ref, giving us 2 weeks between episodes to speculate and stew. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description so you can catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing, but let's dive into it. They get back to the house where CT is confident about volunteering as a target because his team has been crushing eliminations. Nehemiah isn't as confident and didn't volunteer. Olivia confronts Josh because he was supposed to volunteer with her to be a target, but he chickened out last minute. Olivia basically calls Josh a coward. The next day, the Club comes home for a pool party where Naya and Kyland are making out in clear daylight, a rare thrill. Emily feels that being the target this week will help her take control of the game, and Tina feels that being a target with CT will see everyone being afraid to send them in. Cara and Laurel are playing pickleball together, but are still talking about how much they hate each other in confessional. At night, Michelle and Devin are caught kissing. Devin is enamored by Michelle's riz. This hookup is great business for Michelle. It's ambiguous which beds they end up in at the end of the night. The next day, Nehemiah approaches Devin to strike a deal, but Devin is in too deep with too many people and finds this deal risky. Josh is upset because the internet has painted him in the vacation alliance with him, Casey, Tori, and Devin because they go on vacations together. Why deny this alliance? You go on vacations together. Later, they head to their daily challenge called Fast Pass. They need to carry a Y-shaped beam through a tree maze to retrieve sandbags. They have to make 2 trips, then nominate 2 players to balance the bags on the beam. As always, the first team to complete this will have their targets be the winners, safe, and decision makers, and the losing team's targets will be in elimination. They get started with Era 1 needing to course correct from bad strategy and bad back on Darrell. Era 1 is struggling the whole time, and Tina pipes up trying to lead, but nobody's listening to her. Nobody's listening to anybody on this team. We also see some drama on Era 3 with Tori and Jordan having communication issues. Eras 2 and 4 are bodying the navigation, getting to their bags first. Near the balance beams, Laurel drops the beam, deciding to throw the challenge and just stand there, hand on hip, telling us that Emily is her target and she doesn't want her there anymore. Era 4 pulls forward and wins the challenge, making Olivia and Kyland safe and in charge, followed by Eras 2 and 3. Era 4 is in last and Tina blows up, leading to a funny screaming match between Tina and CT, who both will be heading into the arena. Back at the house, they strategize and it's really Nehemiah against the world, scrambling to save himself from facing CT despite not being well connected and being teamed up with Emily, who the girls don't seem to like. In deliberation, where Olivia and Kyland have to choose between Nehemiah and Emily or Devin and Tori, Nehemiah uses the vacation alliance as a reason to choose Devin and Tori. Devin throws Nehemiah under the bus, saying that Nehemiah asked him for an alliance and he didn't take it. Devin really seems to outfox Nehemiah here, and Olivia and Kyland seem swayed by Devin. Back at the house, Rachel is ready to fight to save Tina, but doesn't end up doing anything about it. Michelle is frustrated with her rival Laurel and wants to try to get Laurel to like her, so she confronts Laurel, who quickly tells her that she doesn't like Michelle because Michelle sent her into elimination on a previous season. Laurel doesn't want to get over it. Cara pipes into the conversation and tells Michelle, "I'll be your friend, Michelle," which triggers Laurel's I hate Cara senses. Emily consoles Cara over this, and Cara tells Emily that Laurel threw the challenge in an effort to sabotage Emily. In strategizing for the next target selection, Janae tells CT that she doesn't want to be nominated to be a target. CT tells us that he feels like Janae is acting like the mayor of Challengeville, really painting Janae to be selfish. Elsewhere, Cara has her crazy braids on, so it's time to confront Laurel and call her an asshole. Of course, they have an immature fight.
I don't back down to you anymore, Laurel!
Laurel points out that she's had Kara's back, and they show a whole montage of Laurel having Kara's back on previous seasons. Laurel says that Kara is mad because she beat her in All-Stars 4. They're separated, both crying, and obviously find no resolution. The players take sides, but Kyland, who's probably the closest thing to a viewer at home, takes Laurel's side and feels like Laurel doesn't get a fair shake. Later, they head to the elimination where Olivia and Kyland decide to send Emily and Nehemiah down to elimination, with Olivia saying Era 3 and Era 4 are now officially working together. They'll be playing Getting Hammered. It's pretty simple. They need to remove 100 nails from a board using a hammer and then hammer them into another board. First, for the ladies, I'd give the advantage to Emily because she's been meditating and getting zen all day, but Tina says she does woodworking at home. They get started and Emily's going one by one. Tina savagely attacks her board, hacking the challenge, turning the hammer sideways, using the handle of the hammer to rip tons of nails out all at once. Emily's completely lost, pulling nails out with her hands. Tina gets all of her nails out when Emily has like 50 left in her board. At that point, Tina's far ahead and it's hers to lose. I was worried that Tina would have lost a nail in the sand, but ultimately Emily just can't catch up and Tina royally kicks Emily's ass and wins the elimination. So we have to say goodbye to Zen Emily, who loses her first ever elimination. I don't have much to say about her. She came in with a not so positive reputation and I was willing to give her an open mind. All she did was get freaky with Brad in the shower and be so disliked by Laurel that Laurel was willing to throw a challenge at first opportunity to get rid of her. It seems like she didn't really have a lot of friends on the cast and it's unclear if production likes her because her nails were really lodged into that wall. I doubt we'll ever see her again and I don't care. Next up is CT and Nehemiah Nehemiah, I'd give the advantage to CT because he's CT. They get started, Nehemiah's going one by one, and CT is going crazy with coaching from Tina. They move on to their hammering about the same time, and it's quite literally a nail biter. In the end, Nehemiah beats CT by a few nails. A great win for Nehemiah, I'm happy for him. But we have to say goodbye to CT, whose presence will obviously be missed. I think the show will be less fun without him there, and there will be far less people tuning in the first place. All in all, this wasn't his season to win. Era 1 was not his choice of team, and he has a great social game, but he couldn't stop his team from coming in dead last, setting him right into elimination in a game that really wasn't suited for him. CT is great at strength and smarts, and hammering nails isn't something anyone can train for. I'm excited to see more of CT in the future, but I hope we get to see him on more shows outside of the challenge soon. Following the elimination, winners Tina and Nehemiah need to pick the next targets. Brad steps up, and Rachel is the only available option for Era 1. Laurel and Bananas are picked for Era 2. Corey volunteers for Era 3, and Janae backs down and doesn't volunteer as planned. Nehemiah picks Janae anyways and makes her look foolish. Jenny is picked for Era 4, and Josh finally steps up and volunteers now that his sleep paralysis demon CT is gone. Before they go, TJ tells CT and Emily they get to give out their karma points, with Emily notably giving Laurel bad and Kara good scores. I don't have much to say about this episode other than I wish it wasn't on at the same time as Survivor. A lot of us watch both, and it sucks to have to choose. But let me know in the comments, what do you think of this episode? How do you feel about CT and Emily's eliminations? If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back later this week with Big Brother content, and next week with more challenge and Survivor. Until next time, have a nice weekend. Bye!